Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Strategy and Tactics number 94. The game inside is Kapp, World War III in the Arctic Circle. I got this a long time ago. I read the rules. I just haven't had a chance to try it. All I remember from the rules is that I think the Norwegians had some type of heavy units, and they had the option of where they could leave their heavy equipment behind and just fight as like a light infantry unit. So that was the unique thing about this game, if I recall correctly. It's been a long time since I read the rules, though, but let's go through this and see what's in here. Alright, starts with the introduction. The Kapp game simulates potential warfare between the NATO and the Soviet Union in the area of Scandinavia north of the Arctic Circle. The game presumes this action to be part of a general European war taking place in the late 1980s. The focus of the game is a Soviet attempt to secure airfields in Norway with the object of extending the range of Soviet naval aviation to dominate the North Atlantic sea lanes and hinder U.S. reinforcement of NATO's Central European region. The action represented by the game is part of a larger campaign being waged by naval and air forces in the Norwegian Sea in the area of the Greenland, Iceland, United Kingdom gap. The map scale is 16 kilometers per hex, and the time scale is 48 hours per turn. Alright, starts out going over some game terms, and then it's talking about the game map and the counters. Counters have combat strength and movement allowance, and of course, unit type. And then as far as the aircraft, they have air-to-air strength, avionics rating, and combat strength. And helicopters have lift ability. That's kind of interesting. You don't see that too often in war games. And movement radius. Alright, let's go to the sequence of play. Starts with the Soviet player turn. There's a weather determination phase, then an air interdiction phase, then a supply determination phase, airborne, air mobile movement phase, amphibious movement phase, ground movement phase, and air unit movement phase. And then the Western player turn is the same. Alright, and it's going over ground unit movement. Zones of control, rail. There's rail movement in here, that's cool. Stacking. Alright, in stacking, there's ground unit stacking restriction. Soviet player can never have more than 6 ground units in a hex. No more 3 of them can be on the heavy side. The Western player can never have more than 4 ground units in a hex, and no more than 2 of them can be on their heavy side. So I guess the Soviets have a heavy and a light side too. That's cool. Air unit, you cannot have more than 4 air units in a hex. And you can have 6 helicopter units in a single hex. And now it's going over ground unit combat. Attack restrictions, multi-unit and multi-hex combat modifiers, combat resolution, defenders losses. Unfulfilled combat losses under supply rules too. And the special units in the game are artillery, anti-tank units, and air defense units. And there's air interdiction in this. And airborne operations, quite a bit. This is a pretty heavy game. Air escorts, paradrops on air bases, helicopter and air mobile operations. Oh, there's even amphibious movement and combat. And going over reinforcements, and then the victory conditions. Alright, victory is decided by the number of victory points obtained by the Soviet player. He's awarded victory points for air bases which he physically occupies with 1 or more units at the end of the Western player turn on game turn 10. And here's what they're worth. So some of them are in Norway and some are in Finland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these. Oh, there's some in Sweden too. And if the Soviet gets 32 or more, it's a Soviet strategic victory. 25 to 31 Soviet marginal, 18 to 24 Western marginal, 11 to 17 Western strategic. And now it goes over the scenario instructions. The first status and neutrals it's going over. Alright, it goes over weather too. And it's got the reinforcement schedule, and then it's got some optional rules here. So let's look at the other components. Oh, here's the terrain effects chart and the combat results table. And it's got a picture of all the different counters in case you lose one, so you can make a replacement. Counters here. So on good thick cardboard, that's good. Most of the stuff is standard military symbols. The aircraft have a picture of an airplane or of the helicopter type. So they look alright for 1983? Yeah, fall in 1983. For 1983, they look pretty good. Let's look at the map here. Alright, looks like this map is supposed to represent not wintertime, summertime, or maybe fall or something. Artwork looks pretty good. Actually, it's a good looking map. It's got Norway, Sweden, Finland on it. That's good. Down here it's got a terrain key, and let's go to the top here. And up here it's got a game turn record track, a flying weather track, season determination table. So it's got quite a bit to it. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Just wanted to show you guys this game. If you liked the video, please click like on it. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a good evening.